We should repeal the liability shield that often protects gun manufacturers from being sued for the death and destruction caused by their weapons. They're the only industry in this country that has that kind of immunity.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
At what we're doing against the backdrop of what's going on in Washington, D.C. And particularly, there's a fella by the name of Brandon that people talk about that we have to contend with. And I see this news report where Biden is so frustrated that his approval ratings are in the toilet. He can't understand it. He's lashing out at his staff. He's blaming other people. He's blaming the media, even though he gets the most sycophantic media coverage that any president has ever gotten, compared how they treated Trump.
Before we get started with today's video, remember Mad Magazine before they went all woke on us? Among other aspects of life, they would hilariously use satire to mock and expose both the left and right political parties. Well, there's another magazine that's light years beyond that, 100% independent Flip City magazine. I personally think they're better than Mad because they pull no punches. They'll take a stab at not only Klaus, Great Reset, Schwab, Gill, Final Solution, Bates, and St. Anthony Fraudstey, but they'll give you the bad and the ugly about Dennis Zio Prager, Charlie Kirk, and Dan World Economic Forum Red Flag Law Crenshaw. It's an uncensored free speech magazine from great artists and writers that you're going to love, treating woke like the joke it actually is. There's really no magazine like it. Support these free speech heroes. Go to flipcitymag.com and get a subscription today. The link is in the description.
Well, both teams are wearing the shirts. I think, we feel very strongly as a league that it's time for people to take notice and to take part in what should be a nationwide effort to limit the gun violence that's out there. And there are ways to limit it. And, there are proven laws that are waiting to be passed, whether it's background checks or what have you. There are things we can do that would not violate people's Second Amendment rights, but would save lives. And so the idea behind wearing the shirts for both teams is to make people aware that they can contribute to different gun safety, gun violence prevention groups. The biggest thing, I think, is to vote. What I understand is that, a lot of races, congressional races that are out there are, despite the fact that the majority of people in this country want gun safety measures put in place, a lot of those races are decided by people who aren't so much for any kind of gun safety measures. And so people got to vote.
People got to vote.
You got to vote to keep up the illusion that the people are in control. You got to vote for one of two narcissistic megalomaniacs with no soul. You got to vote so when they rob you blind, they can say it was with your consent. You gotta vote so that when they lie, cheat, and steal, you think it's you they represent.
People gotta vote.
And if you feel strongly about saving lives and possibly even someone in your own family, get out and vote. And that's the only way to convince the people we need to convince to start implementing gun safety regulation, prevention laws, things that we can do to help.
it was just instinct, man. It happened so quick. I didn't want to shoot him, but when I saw him swing around so fast, I didn't want to get shot either.
That's what a customer who opened fire on a would-be robber inside a dollar store told Fox 10 News last night. Well, tonight, the family of that suspected thief is lashing out.
Now, last night, you heard exclusively from the customer who stepped in to rescue store employees that were held at gunpoint. Well, the family of that man says he shouldn't have got involved.
Fox 10 News reporter Andrew Perez has more.
From his hospital bed at USA Medical Center, 18-year-old Adric White waits for a jail bed. The teen already has robbery charges hanging over his head from September. On Tuesday, officials believe White struck again, but this time was different.
He had the gun to his head. He had him on his knees. I drew my gun on him and I said, "Hey, don't move." At that point, he swung around, and before he had a chance to aim the gun at me, I fired.
A customer who we're not identifying was shopping at the Family Dollar on Stanton Road when he says he saw White holding employees at gunpoint. The customer pulled out his own gun and fired 5 times. While police say it was completely legal, White's family says they're angry.
If his life was not in danger, if no one had a gun up to him, if no one pointed a gun at him, what gives him the right to think that it's okay to just shoot someone? You should have just left the store and left and went wherever you had to go in your car or whatever.
Originally, we had interviewed White's parents about the cases, but they later called demanding that we not air it.
Some rights and freedom that would tell you that. But since you seem to forget that, and you're all loud and proud with your big thoughts and your big ideas, and you want to, whatever, fucking set up hot tubs in Ottawa. I'm a recruiter. It's a small industry. Smaller than you'd think. Same with HR. So, if you're looking for a job, or maybe trying to keep a job, maybe, just maybe, think about what you're putting on social media. Again, freedom fighters. I know you're not really big with stats and, facts aren't your thing, but what I can tell you, what is a fact, is that recruiters talk. And recruiters, like the majority of Canada, don't agree with you. Do you know what that means? Do you have any guesses? Any guesses what that means? What that means is that if you need a job, you might not get one. If you want to keep a job, you might not get to do that. And you know what else HR is good at? Documentation. You know what that means? You want to be an asshole. We document it. We give you a couple tries. Then what do? We terminate you. With cause. If we're so lucky. If not, we give you the minimum allowed by law. Either way, best of luck to you. Recruiters are watching. HR is watching. Everywhere. And we hate you. We hate you so much. And you think we can't do anything. But we can. We have the power. Always. Remember that. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking man at the top of your HR department. It's run by women. And it's run by angry women just like me. I'm so glad I got that off my chest. It's been eating me up inside. And honestly, my heart goes out to you guys. I mean, you have families to feed, right? You brought your kids to this big event. You're freedom fighters. You're standing up. Oh, they will be so proud. So proud of you. Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Mwah. Love you.
Imminent danger to themselves and others, such that they might commit mass murder, have a constitutional right to access a firearm, and to deny them that right would, quote, trample on an individual's due process and Second Amendment rights. You know who didn't have due process? You know who didn't have their constitutional right to life respected? The kids at Parkland and Sandy Hook and Uvalde and Buffalo, and the list goes on and on. So spare me the bullshit about constitutional rights.
Would the gentleman yield?
No, I will not yield, and I'm not going to yield for my entire 5 minutes, so don't ask again.
With all the crazy stated plans of the Great Reset, the currency reset, and even the food reset, it's not a matter of if the store shelves are going to clear and there's a lack of food. The question is when. You need to get long-term storable food. It doesn't matter if it's from me or you just go to the store and you buy food. Just grab dry, storable food while you can. If you want to get it from me, you're going to support the channel and you're going to help yourself out because my link has a discount code embedded within it. You can check that out in the description below.